Ken for Westfield Community Programming. Each and every election cycle for the past decade, we have invited in everyone running for City Council, both ward and at large, incumbent and challenging. And this year is no different. An email went out to every single candidate inviting them to come in for the interview that we do. Each interview is 10 questions, and it's the same question to each and every candidate. Most of the questions are an amalgam of what I pulled from social media as to how people feel, questions they may have, etc. This year, instead of doing everything live in the morning, we have pre-recorded in the afternoon. And all of the videos are being released at once. Also, by doing this, nobody has an idea as to what the questions are. The interviews that you see in this series are those of the City Council candidates who replied saying they would like to take part of it. Not all did. Make sure you get out and vote in November. Hi, Ken again for Westfield Community Programming. We are in the studio continuing our coverage of interviews for City Council candidates. And today in the studio, I have Nick Morganelli, Councilor at Large.
Good to see you, Kenny.
Hi, Nick.
Hi.
All right.
Hello.
Before we actually get going, each and every councilor gets 10 questions. They're all identical. I do allow up to half an hour, but we don't have to use the entire half hour. And then at the end, we give you an opportunity to get up on your soapbox and make your plea to the constituents of Westfield. So if you're all set and ready to go, let's dive into it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. And I should mention that these questions are an amalgam of questions and topics that I've picked up on social media.
Okay.
So,
And we know that's all true.
yeah, if it's on the internet, it's true. Number one, Nick.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on building a new combined comprehensive high school?
Oh, so yeah, I mean, I've been actually talking to some people about that. There's a lot of different ideas out there. My first thought is, how are we going to pay for it? Because the superintendent came in last February, I think it was, and spoke to the council, and he wanted to move forward and put something to the state, put a request out to get the project kind of off the ground, so to speak, and see if we can get approved for that. Well, we pulled the reins back because there wasn't a plan in place to pay for it yet. So one of my comments was related to that as well, and I love the idea, and I said, maybe if you came to us 6 months ago, 8 months ago, and we started talking about it, and we had all the ideas on the table, and we had a plan that would make it fiscally responsible for our tax-paying citizens, because this is going to be a big item on the budget. I mean, the state will give us funds, but we have to pay a lot of it too. So, so that was one of the things. I like the idea in one sense that if we combine them. The thing is, would it be one building, or is it just a combined program using the high school and using where we are right now, Westfield Technical Academy, I love vocational schools. The Technical Academy has so many great assets, like this studio, with the green screen right behind me. I feel like I should do the weather a little bit here.
Absolutely.
There's so many opportunities for our young people, and we need trades. So I'm all for supporting anything that we can do to enhance vocational schooling, academics as well is very important. So as far as combining them, can you elaborate on what you like? What are the specifics on that you'd like me to talk about?
I think the big thing that is in the topic of discussion with that is combining them or keeping the high school and the Tech Academy separate.
Separate, yeah. And there's advantages to
and both buildings are old and need work.
Right. So there's it really has to come down to the overall plan for funding this. If it makes sense to keep them separate and have the kids go to the high school for academics for if it's still 1 week or 2 weeks, and then they go to the technical part of it for 2 weeks. If there's a way to do that, and they're there, and then they're here, If that makes sense, then we could maybe upgrade both schools or build one new school and upgrade the other one. It all comes down to how much it's going to cost, and we're talking hundreds of millions of dollars for these new schools. And when I drive around Agawam, West Springfield, Longmeadow, you see these gorgeous high schools, and it's like, why not us? And I've been saying it since my first time on the council back in 2008 when I first raised my hand and took the oath of office.
Well, in Longmeadow, the new high school is tacking $1,000 a year on everyone's taxes.
Yeah, see, so our citizens are already hit the limit, especially with the tax increase this year, which was huge. So, I'm open to all the ideas. I'm very supportive of education and upgrading the schools as best we can. And if it makes sense to do an upgrade to make it a smart space, smart school, rather than to build a new school, if at least for one of them, and then the other one's brand new. I mean, I'm all for keeping them separate. But if we want to combine them together, that's a huge ticket. We already have the facility here, and we have a great space. We could upgrade it and then maybe still do something with the high school. But I'm open to all the ideas. I'm very supportive of either one. It just, you have to get everything on the table first to really make an informed decision on where you stand. But when I take the vote on the funding for it, I would vote in favor of funding it as long as it's fiscally responsible, and that we have a way to pay for it. We're obviously going to have to bond for it, but if whichever one makes the best sense, I guess, fiscally, and that comes out of the mayor's office and the school committee and the superintendent to bang out all those numbers and hash it out and then come up with a plan too. So I hope I'm involved with that. It sounds exciting.
Excellent. Question number 2. And what do we have here? Question 2 reads, what needs to be done to get more business development in Westfield?
So one of the things, I see Westfield as having, as being in a very good spot, geographically, for one. We're right off the turnpike. We've got rail, and we've got an airport. Planes, trains, and automobiles.
Right.
Funny movie, right?
Yep.
But, so we really do have access to all modes of transportation. So we're in a good spot there. We do have land that is available. I do not, and I will not vote for more truck terminals, more places where hundreds or dozens of more trucks will flow through, especially the north side of Westfield, even them coming downtown.
Right.
It's very detrimental to our roads. It wears out the roads, number one. Number two, it just adds to the traffic. Everybody in Ward 1, when I was Ward 1 councilor a couple years ago, I that's all I heard is that, no more trucks, no more trucks. If it makes sense, if there's a few trucks that coming in and out for deliveries, but if you have a truck terminal, you're talking dozens and hundreds or a week coming in and out of there. I think we have the facilities, the land, the infrastructure to support other types of businesses that don't require a lot of trucking, like manufacturing and tech,
right,
and that kind of thing. The data center was interested in coming here. And that would have just been sitting there, and that was a very interesting project. 4 or 5 stories. The one thing about that was the fuel storage. They have to run the
generators.
They have to run the generators, and I never knew that. You have to run the generators to get rid of the fuel. The fuel gets old, so they have to run the generators in case of a power outage. They got to know that they're working, and plus you got to use up that fuel. So those would all be stored there, and that was kind of a sticking point for everybody too. And those have some noise to them when they run. But something like that is better than having a truck terminal. So anything with manufacturing or small business, I would love to see some more small business come in. And your question specifically was, how do we get the business
What needs
here?
to be done to get more
So
business?
to get them here, I think
just letting you know, we are running a tad behind right now.
Okay, so just to wrap it up, the business side of it. Look, I'm supportive of small business, medium-sized business, the big business. No more tips for them. But I think what makes sense is that we market it effectively and showcase what Westfield could do. I really don't think we have a marketing arm to really showcase what we have to offer here in Westfield. And the other part of that is when we do the tax shift at the end of the year, and we vote on that. City Council votes on the tax shift, whether we go residential, commercial, and we have pretty high commercial rates compared to some other communities around us. So if we can even shift it a little bit away from business and give them a break, yes, the residents will bear some of that burden, but it won't be a lot. But it sends a message. It sends a marketing message that, hey, we're business friendly.
Gotcha.
All right?
All right. Number 3, why are things always built but never maintained?
You mean as far as like parks and recreation, buildings,
Sure.
signs? Oh, how about the dogwood trees up on Prospect Hill that there's all these like weird growth on them. They need to be trimmed. So I meet with the mayor. I try to meet with him once a month. I at least meet with him every other month, and we talk about a lot of different things. And the DPW department was one of my questions, like why are things in disrepair, and why does it take so long to fill a pothole? Why does it take, why aren't trees trimmed? Why this and that? So it is that what you just said, and it's staffing. They have a lot of they have less people working there now, but the budget keeps going up. So, and the other thing is they have a trouble hiring at the wage that they're hiring. They have trouble hiring good DPW workers. And the Mayor McCabe wanted to do he wanted to make sure the foremen that we hire are working foremen, that they're not just standing around, that they're actually doing something, which I am totally in favor of. They can pick up a shovel just as well as the grunt worker, the low person on
the guy in the ditch.
Exactly. Yeah. So the reason is it's really staffing. We just don't have the people, and it just takes a long time to get it done. Yeah.
All right. That's the general consensus.
Yeah,
of
that's
what I've come
that's what I've heard from, and I've spoken with the mayor about it.
All right. Number 4, and this applies mostly towards 2 and 3, some of the older neighborhoods in town, but it is a citywide issue. Why do we have dead fire hydrants in our neighborhoods?
That's a good question for the fire chief and the fire department. So when you say dead, they won't.
You put a hose up and nothing comes out.
Well, I know they have to do the flushing of the fire hydrants periodically. They have to do that to make sure they're running and working. So if there's a dead fire hydrant out there, immediately call. I mean, you're welcome to email me, nicholas.morganelli@cityofwestfield.org. I'll make sure they get out there and check it out and why it's not working. But that should not happen. If they're dead and they're supposed to be working, if there isn't a new one close by they've taken that one offline for some reason, I don't have an answer to your question, but I will get an answer and find out why if people contact me.
All right, there's 3 houses away from me.
And there's
and it's not the only one.
And where's the nearest hydrant?
That is the nearest hydrant.
I mean, where's the next nearest? Is it
at the end of the street?
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, and
and
the flow coming out of that one was poor as well.
So this is a good promotion I can do for the app that the city of Westfield has. It's called C-Click Fix, and you download C-Click Fix. You register on there. You put in your information and your zip code, and then it automatically connects with Westfield. When you see something that needs to be done, whether it's a tree branch on a road, a dead animal, something that's broken, a fire hydrant that's not working, anything like that, you can go to the C-Click Fix app, pick the category, take a picture of the thing if you want, put it on there, you put the address, or it actually does it automatically where the address if you're at the position geographically, and it will send it to DPW, and they will make sure that it gets to the correct department. C-Click Fix app. Excellent tool.
I have it.
I use it all the time. Yep.
All right. So this is the one I'd call it maybe a wonky question.
Okay.
But I'll put a little addendum at the end of it. Number 5 is what is one code you would like to remove or amend and why? And I'm not looking for you to quote the Muni code number or anything like that. So One code you would like to remove or amend.
A code
Yeah. One law, one regulation.
to amend. Well, I mean, like the chicken ordinance.
Yes.
I mean, I tried to do that.
Yeah.
So just a few months, I mean, we had council chambers filled with people that want to be able to have hens in their backyard. Our taxes are high enough. People pay their real estate tax. Why can't they have chickens? Almost every municipality in the state has chickens, the ability to have chickens. And we put everything in that ordinance to take care of every objection. Closed container food, away from the property line by a certain distance, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We had everything in there. And the majority of the council voted no. So if you're thinking of having hens, you can't have them. You can't have your own eggs in your backyard unless you're zoned for it. We wanted to make it by right in most areas of Westfield based on lot size and that kind of thing. So I would still like to see that happen. The other thing is
that was a perfect example of an answer to that question.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that particular ordinance.
Here's the thing. There's been a lot of protests on the green, and it's come to my attention that a lot of people were out on the islands in Westfield with signs on the island in the middle of the road. So one of the I talked to the police about this. I met with the chief and a couple of sergeants and so forth, and lieutenant. We had a good discussion about it, and they're all in favor of amending or creating an ordinance that basically states this: that the island in the middle of a roadway is now part of the roadway. So you cannot be there to do any kind of protest, picketing, rally. You need to be on the sidewalk off to the side. It's detrimental to traffic. It's kind of in your face. You can't see visibly the traffic coming and going.
I know exactly the intersection you're referring to.
Yeah, well, it was right downtown on the green, and there's a couple of islands there. So the Westfield Police Department is in favor of that, and I'm going to be proposing that going forward. I'm going to be working on that with them. Yep.
Excellent. We are halfway through the questions, and we are just halfway through.
All right.
So
I figured I'd try to speed it up a little bit.
Yeah. We've gotten back on track.
Broadcasting's kind of been my thing for a while.
Yeah.
So kind of speed it up.
Only instead of you getting something in your ear, I'm right in front of you saying
rap. You're right.
All right. So number 6, I'm actually moving to above number 10.
Okay.
So when I say 7, don't say, "Hey, can you skip 6?" Because I'll be getting back to it. I just feel it works better at the end.
All right.
So number 7 is, what has to be done to get leaf pickup back?
Yeah. So the question is, what has to be done to prevent a trash fee in the future?
Expand on that.
Well, a lot of municipalities, they we pay for our trash to go away, and at what point do we have to? Now the citizen's going to have to pay a trash fee to get their trash picked up. I
don't we already do that?
Not meaning we get our trash picked up at the door, but yes, but it's not what it. It's not what it is.
Right.
It's not what it is in other municipalities. So as far as leaf pickup goes, if we can generate some funding that would go right towards that, I mean, you need the machine, you need the giant vacuum with the truck, or you need to outsource for it, and we need to pay that contractor to go around and do it.
So are we mulching any of this stuff up on Twist Street, or?
What do you mean? Like when we drop off?
Processing it.
No, I mean on Twist Street, you drop off your leaves and you can drop them off there, and they just compost. I mean, if you go there, on a hot day,
compost. I used the wrong word.
You can see the steam coming up. Is the weight of everything on top pressing it.
All right, so we're not paying to get rid of stuff like that. We're actually composting it.
Yeah, we're composting it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
To get leaf pickup at your home is what you're saying. We used to do that years ago. We used to line it up on the curb, and they used to come around.
And it wasn't all that many years ago either.
Yeah. So
I myself, I'm good with paying $1 a bag or whatever, because we used to have those paper bags that we would put together.
Right.
I think that's reasonable, but there are a lot of people who don't drive, who don't have ways of bringing leaves to City Hall or Twist Street.
Right. It's it's beneficial to a small business, to somebody that wants to go around and pick up leaves. Maybe there's some young person that wants to start a business.
I believe some folks were doing that the last year and the year before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess sometimes when something goes away, it creates opportunity. When there's crisis and opportunity is the same word in Japanese. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
Well, now I do.
I don't know the word, but I know it's the same word. So when there's a crisis, it creates opportunity. Yeah.
All right. We are on to number 8.
All right.
What can be done to better deal with the electric scooters and the youth using them?
Yeah, I mean, first of all, some of these are extremely dangerous because they get to such high speeds. Some of these things, even 5 miles per hour on a sidewalk, you could seriously give someone a concussion if they end up coming out of a storefront. And you're downtown and you're going by at 5 miles per hour, and they step out, not expecting a vehicle, 'cause that's what it is, to come down the sidewalk and plow into some old lady or some young person, anybody, knock them over, and they hit their head.
You don't think some of these speeds are fast, but I have a Class 2 e-bike, and under pedal assist power, I'm 20 miles an hour, and that's moving.
Yeah, yeah. So, I think we have to stay ahead of the game and look at what we can do and this would be with the Westfield PD involved, maybe even the Park and Rec Commission involved, to talk about ideas and see what other municipalities have done to regulate that, to make it safe, so that everyone's safe. I think that's really important. If they're going 20 miles per hour, they need to be on the road somewhere. And you're mixing cars.
A lot of those scooters are going more than that.
Yeah, and you're mixing cars with these other types of vehicles, and some roads are okay to mix the two, but some just are not. But we adopted the Complete Streets program through the state. I didn't vote for that because I wanted us to have control over our streets, and the money wasn't guaranteed to us anyway from the state. It could be up to, I think it was $20,000 a year, I think something like that, 25,000 or 200,000.
But
can't remember
the state giveth and the state taketh away anyway.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they want to control too much of what municipalities are doing. That's a whole other topic. And I think we need to control our streets. And if they came out with a mandate, this is what you got to do for e-bikes and these vehicles, and then we have to adopt it. It's like, well, why can't we look at our streets and decide what's safe? Because our streets are not like your streets over there in this town or that city. But
that's been a common complaint for Western Mass
Yeah.
for the entire lifetime of Massachusetts, right? We're being told how to do things on this side of the state, where they determine that they want that done on the other side of the state, and a lot of times it just doesn't work.
Right. Well, it's like the state telling us we can now put another home in our backyard on our side prop. We passed
auxiliary.
We passed a flag ordinance where a flag lot ordinance. It was, if your lot looks like a flag, like an L shape or a 7, you could put another home there with certain stipulations. That's all gone now. Like everything we did with that, all gone because the state said, no, you can put whatever you want, wherever you want. So I told my neighbor, I joked around with him saying, I'm gonna put a tiny house back here and rent it out and hook it up to city sewer. He's like, oh yeah?
Go for it. Yeah. Let's see how that works out for you. Number 9, Nick, and then we go to 6 and then 10.
Okay.
With 7 minutes.
All right, let's do it.
What is your largest concern regarding Westfield right now?
Largest concern? It's the spending. It's the taxes. People are really strapped. That's everything. When I talk to people, even businesses getting their taxes, and then residents. That's the biggest thing, I think, that everybody's talking about. And how do you fix that? You might have to do a whole restructuring of how the city is run and try to do it more efficiently. I think Mayor McCabe comes up with a budget every year. He gives it to us, and it's kind of rubber stamped. There's not a lot of cuts that are offered. if I've had amendments that I wanted to make to the budget, but most of the council would not vote for it. I wasn't going to waste my time, basically. You really have to get support from other councilors and get, you can't talk to a majority, but a quorum, but you can talk to 4 others. So 5 of you can talk about it, or,
Where can you take the cuts?
and that's the thing. It's like, what can you can only cut a department. You can cut the budget by an amount. You can't, make cuts to a position or a salary or anything like that. We don't do that.
Right.
So it's tough. It's tough. What I have done personally is to meet with the mayor to talk about the budget when the budget's coming out, January through April, and have discussions with him and come up, and we share ideas, and and I want to hear what he's planning on doing. What about this? What about that? How do we fix that? He's actually educated me a lot about the city budget and how come sometimes you kind of just strap. You got the handcuffs on.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. 2 more. What is your priority over the next 2 years?
That's a good question. My priority, I think, it's really just continuing to do what I have been doing, listening, engaging people, inviting them to go to a city council meeting, attend a public hearing, get more people involved. I think that's the best thing that I can do as a representative of my constituents, of the city. Because I'm at large right now, I'm running at large, so I think that's the best thing I can do is to engage people and then listen. And as far as legislation, I want to revisit the battery energy storage legislation that I had proposed that was shot down because it didn't have everything in it. Well, I wanted to get that passed so that we'd have something,
right,
and keep people safe, and then we'd do amendments and strengthen it and keep building on it. So that's something that I won't let die. I'll continue to work on that. As I mentioned, the ordinance for the islands, the electric bike and those other vehicles, that's a good one too. For as far as legislative things, those are some things as well.
All right.
All right.
And we've come up to question number 10, Nick. What makes you qualified? I saved that one for last.
I think my tenure, how many years I've had on the council, because if you asked me that back in 2007, what makes you qualified? I said, probably not a lot, but people asked me to run, and so I was humbled, and I said, that's interesting. Let me look at it. I feel I can, reason very well, listen, make a well-informed decision, look at all the different things, like put it all on the table and come up with what's best for the city and best for the people. So I think that makes me qualified. I'm a person of faith. I'm a godly person. My decisions have a strong moral compass. I think that qualifies me.
All right. We're at that point in our program where I let you get up on your soapbox so you can plead your case to the constituents of Westfield as to why they should vote for you in November. And we are asking for 1 of 7 votes, I believe, for at large.
Right. And you did question 6, right? You went back to it already?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that was what was your priority.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I'm on Facebook, Nick for Westfield on Facebook, Nick FOR Westfield. My email is nick4westfield@gmail.com, but of course you can get me through a city website if it's something official for the city as well. You can direct message me through Facebook or email me. Be certainly welcome to get back to you. If you want to support my campaign, I'd greatly appreciate that as well, in any way, whether it's a sign or funding or anything like that. I guess, what was the exact question you had? I just
I gave you a soapbox to say whatever you want.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm running for re-election just simply because people have asked me to. They want me to stay in. They think I'm a voice of reason, and well-intended in what I do in my position in the council. I really feel like I've helped a lot of people over the years. I want to continue to do that. That's really simply it. I don't, I'm not going to pat myself on the back and give you a list of things that I've done over the years. I think I've spoken up for the citizens of Westfield and what they want. And I'm gonna really have the strong conversations with the mayor going forward about the budget for next year and see what we can do. I love our meetings and talking about and trying to be a solution to the problems that we've had. So if I can help with a solution, that's what I want to do. I think that's it. I don't think I have anything else for you. Oh, I will have, so I posted a video today on my Nick for Westfield Facebook page. It's the first video. It kind of just introduces myself, but I've got another one coming out this week, and every week I'll be posting a couple of videos. Try to boost those through Facebook and do a little bit of that. But so look for the videos. We're going to talk about different topics going forward, kind of give you people some insight on that. So that's something I'm kind of excited about, and doing the videos, with people and by myself. But that's kind of exciting. I think that's about it.
All right. City Council candidate at large, Nick Morganelli, thanks for coming in.
Kenny, thank you very much for having us all in here. Everybody that said they would do it, it's a pleasure. Good questions. There's so many more questions, and email me, ask me some more questions, and I'll certainly do my best to answer those for you. But thank you.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Nick.
All right.